In this video, we're going to show you the Jazzy Carbon by Pride Mobility and the Golden Technologies Cricket. These are two of the lightest weight folding power wheelchairs on the market today. All right, so in this video demonstration, what we're going to show you is going to be the Jazzy Carbon and the Cricket. Now, these are made by two different manufacturers, but they are very, very similar units. So we're going to point out the similarities and also the differences between these units. Now, both of these are a 300-pound weight capacity, so the weight capacity is the same. The airline-approved battery is the same. Your distance is the same, which is about 9 miles on a full charge, and your top-end speed, 3.7 miles an hour, is the same speed. You do have 250 watt brushless motors in the back of both of these units as well. So really the main difference between these are going to be a few different points. It's going to be price point, it's going to be seat size, and then accessory upgrades. So that's going to be three of the major points, and then the overall weight is going to be the fourth point. That's really going to be the difference in these units. Well, one of the first things we're going to talk about is the overall weight difference between these units. Now, Pride Mobility has the Carbon at 43.5 pounds with the battery inside the unit. With the battery removed, they have it at 39 pounds. Now, we did weigh these batteries. They're a little bit less than 4 pounds. So on the Golden Technologies, on the Cricket, they're listing it at about 39.5 pounds. Now, they listed at 33 pounds, the lightest weight, but we measured the battery pack. It's less than 4 pounds. So the real accurate number is about 35 pounds, unless you were to take the joystick off the unit, which obviously if you took the Pride joystick off, you're going to lose a couple pounds as well. So we believe that's what they're doing, is they're taking the joystick off and really stripping it down to get to the 33 pounds. So I would say a more fair weight is going to be 35 pounds versus 39 pounds between these two particular units here. Now, the price point on the Cricket is going to be higher than the price point on the Carbon. It is going to be $200, $300, $400 depending on, prices change in the industry, but currently right now this is about $300 more expensive, the Cricket over the Carbon. So it is going to be more expensive. Now, an advantage that the Carbon has is they just came out with 3 accessories for their unit. So they came out with a cup holder, they came out with an attendant control bracket, and they came out with a headrest. So we will have other videos on our channels that will show you these other accessories. But on the Carbon, there are 3 accessories you can buy. On the Cricket right now, the only thing that you can't buy anything, but it does come with a travel bag. So that is an advantage of the Cricket. The Cricket does come with a travel bag when you're buying one. This is going to fold over the unit. You're still able to pick it up. Now, people always ask me, hey, when I'm flying, should I put this in a bag? Should I cover it up? I think that's going to be a catch-22, and if you hear me out, I believe that airlines, when they see it covered up and they don't have to see really what's inside it, they're probably going to end up throwing it around, and you might have just as good of a chance of it getting damaged. So I don't really know if I would put a cover over the unit when I travel, but what I would do is I would remove the battery and I would remove the joystick. So both the units have quick disconnects that you can slide the joysticks off. I would take this joystick off and bring it on your carry-on, because that is going to help you. That's really the major part that would probably break in some type of flying or some type of transportation. So I would take that joystick off the unit on either one when you're traveling. Now, from looking at the units, there is another difference too. It says turning radius of 22 inches on the Cricket. Pride has the Carbon at 24 inches. Now, we measured the center of wheel to center of wheel. We measured the overall length. I mean, these units are pretty much identical in length, so I'm not sure where they're measuring each one, but I would go ahead and say the turning radius is going to be the same on both of these units, because it's the same tire size, same motor placement. I mean, everything on these units are very similar, besides the foot plate having 2 different carbon fiber brackets over here on this one, and it's got a thicker one bracket on the Carbon over here. Now, the Carbon, the little bit of extra weight is going to be because they have a little bit more padded of a seat, and then they have a little bit of suspension in the front, and they have a little bit of suspension in the back, which we'll show you in a video overlay as well. So the Cricket is going to come with this just straight kind of flexible mesh back, where the Carbon actually has a cushion on here. Now, the Carbon does also have the ability to upgrade the seat cushion. Now, you can buy any cushion you want online, because both of these units actually sit with Velcro, and you can remove the bottom cushion, but the seat is going to be smaller on the Cricket. So on the Cricket, your overall seat width is only 15 inches wide by 17 inches in depth. So 15 wide, 17 inches in depth. On the Carbon, you're 17 inches wide by about 16 inches in depth. So The width is going to be about 2 inches wider on this unit, but like I said, the depth might be an inch shorter. So yeah, once again, just a little bit over 16 inches in depth, and if you were to measure the depth on the Cricket, you're at 17 inches. So it's going to be an inch deeper on the Cricket, but 2 inches wider on the Carbon. So now in between the armrests on the Cricket, you're 17.5 inches, and on the Carbon, you're 18 inches. So if you are worried about a little bit more room, you're going to have a ½ an inch more room in between the armrests on the Carbon as you would on the Cricket. Overall width is going to be outside probably, no, actually it's going to be the wheelbase. The wheelbase on the Cricket is going to be your widest point, and that's going to be at 22.5 inches in overall width. And if I was to measure here too, yeah, joystick and wheelbase are 22.5 inches in overall width. On this particular unit, if I was to do outside of armrest to outside of joystick, 23.5 inches in overall width. So this is about 23.5 inches. That's about 22.5 inches. So the Cricket would be an inch narrower. But most people, that's not going to make a difference. Most people are going to want the extra width in between the armrests so they can fit, and same with the seat cushion. Like I said, you can buy Simplicity G upgraded cushion that comes standard from this unit that they have as a stealth product, but you are able to buy any cushion that you see online that fits in those dimensions, and you can Velcro that cushion onto either one of these units. Now on the Cricket, this is how it comes. There's one color, it's black only in this carbon fiber look. On the Carbon, you can either get with a lot of white or you can get the all black. So you do have color options on the Carbon. The Cricket is just this one color, one size. They both have storage bags. The storage bag is right here on the Cricket, right up here underneath your seat, where the storage bag on the Carbon is down here. So I would say the storage bag is a little bit wider on the Carbon than over the Cricket. And in the back of the unit, which we'll show you an overlay too, you do have a rear storage pouch back here that you could put your owner's manual. Definitely your charger would fit in there, and a couple other items. So everything else is going to be pretty similar on these. Let's see, armrest length is 10.5 inches on the Carbon, and it's 10.5 inches, I'm sorry, on the Cricket it's 10.5 inches, and it's also 10.5 inches on the Carbon. So really there's not going to be a huge amount of differences in this. But in my personal opinion, I do like the Carbon because it's a little bit cheaper, a little bit more comfortable. That we've heard over the years that people are over the past year since it's been out, they have tended to like the Carbon a little bit more. So between cost and comfort, it typically go with this unit. But if overall weight is going to be your primary factor, this unit is going to be about 4 pounds less in weight. So if you have any questions, give us a call. We'd be glad to go over these units with you. This is the Cricket by Golden Technologies. I'm 6 foot tall, 220 pounds. So you can see I fit well in here, and obviously if you're a little bit bigger of a person, it might be a little bit tight here at 17.5 inches in between the armrests. But the tight turning radius, somewhere between 22 to 24 inch turning radius with the rear wheel drive. Now this and the Carbon, they both do take off slow. There's not going to be any adjustability, or what I mean by programming, on the units to make them accelerate faster or to go any faster than the 3.7 miles an hour. You will feel a little hesitation in the motors. It is just how they're designed on both of these units. But this is kind of what I look like sitting in the unit. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring out the Carbon so you can kind of see the differences. This is the Jazzy Carbon. This is going to be very similar to what you just saw on the Cricket. Turning radius should be identical. Pretty much same joystick on the unit, so electronics are going to be similar. Like I said, the difference is going to be the foot plate. The overall width, I can definitely tell the difference with that inch extra in here in between the armrest and the seat being wider. I can definitely say with the backrest having more cushion on there, the Carbon's going to be more comfortable of a unit over the two. But like I said, the Cricket's going to win with weight. So if that is your major difference, go ahead with the Cricket. If everything else that I mentioned is really what you're looking for, I would say the Carbon's going to be your best bet. But give us a call. We'd like to ask you questions and find out which one's going to be the best one to suit your needs, and then we'll get that to you right away.
Hi, I'm Mark.
And my name is Alex. We're co-owners of Marc's Mobility.
I started this company in 1995.
We sell many products, not just what you see in this video. If you have any questions or concerns, please call us at the number below at 800-677-6293. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.